Welcome back guys. In my last video I talked about how the living standards increase affects the population and the whole effect, but now I'm going to talk about a certain example, which is that there is a good harvest. A good harvest means that the harvest has actually been better than the last few years, and this as a result means that the performance, that the food people are getting is going to be much more in this year than the last years. So it's an example of an increase in living standard. So what actually happens that there is an equilibrium. What happens that good harvest causes the incomes to rise. So basically when there is more production, then the farmers would be able to sell more, and that means that their incomes will rise. So first of all, income rises. So income rise means that your living standard increase. So basically good harvest causes living standards to increase because the farmers' incomes rise. This will lead to an increase in population, and this increase in population is because of the increase in living standards. And because the population increases, the average productivity of labor diminishes. That is, that there will be less land per farmer. So this is diminishing average productivity of labor. So we studied that less land per farmer has been caused by the increase in population. So what will happen that the average output per farmer form exactly what I told you guys, that less land means per farmer means that there will be a decrease in the average output per farmer, and that means that because the output per farmer falls, then the farmer's income will fall as a result. And you can see that what actually happened, that good harvest causes farmer incomes to rise, farmers income rises, but all the things that happen afterward cause farmer incomes to fall. So what is the result? The result is that there would be an equilibrium, the same equilibrium we were in, and it will be that the income which increased then falls. So basically there is subsistence income. It means that the income will not increase or decrease a lot, it will remain quite constant. And another thing that remains, that population will also remain constant, because the population rises in the first, but however wherein the farmer's income will fall, the population will fall as well. So population falls and will come back to the same level it was before in the equilibrium. So this is the concept which Malthus brought when there will be a good harvest, or we say when the living standard increase due to something that happens which improves the current year from the other past few years. Next up, there is another example, and there is a technological progress. Technology has improved. Technological progress. So what does Malthus had to say? What did Malthus had to say about this technological progress? He said that first of all, we are in equilibrium and there is subsistence income and the population is constant. So there is an improvement in technology. Somehow there is an improvement. So what will happen again? The average output per farmer will rise, because there is a technology change will mean that the average productivity has increased, or we can say that the average output has increased. So what will this mean? That now farmers will able to have their incomes which will rise, because the farmers are able to produce more, or we say average output per farmer will increase, so they will able to earn more. So farmers' income rise, which means their living standards rise. Living standards rise directly means that population would decrease. I beg your pardon. It means living standards rise means population will rise as well as effect, which means that there will be less land per farmer. Again, the same thing which will happen, that less land per farmer would happen, which would eventually mean that the average output per farmer falls, which will mean that the farmer incomes fall and they will come back to the same equilibrium. Subsistence income will prevail and the population will be constant, but now it will be at a higher level. Now why? because there is an improvement in technology, we are actually heading upward. The population will increase, but the population will remain the same equilibrium of this. The people will have the same income, people will have the same living standards, but what will actually result from improvement in technology is that only population will rise. There will be no effect on the living standards in the long run. There will be no effect on the product on people's uh, lives in the sense of their uh, every person's standard of living, but the population as a whole will rise due to the improvement in technology. And why actually the population rises, there's another reason, is that the real wages will actually rise. And why the real wages rise? Because the technology will improvement technology causes the average output to rise, and this average output to rise means that your real wages actually rise, and these real wages eventually cause the population to be at a higher level, because they have to come back at a sustenance level. So population will come at a higher level to create the same equilibrium that was before the technology improvement. So this is the concept of technological progress. I am ending my video here, and I hope you guys understood the concept of how the Malthusian economics brings the concept of diminishing average product of labor with the concept that living standards increases, so the population also rise as a result. These two have been joined together and have explained the Malthusian economics which prevailed in this world before the Industrial Revolution. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you.